Hello and welcome to our first edition of the Lion Lowdown. My name is Sharon Burns and I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing for Lansing School District. I'm here with Superintendent Dan Wessel and we're excited to share with you some new things happening around our district this year. So some things we're going to cover today are social emotional learning, district-wide late start, the new staff members that we have this year, and lastly our Lion Roar Shoutouts. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wessel.
Thanks, Sharon. As she said, the first thing that we'd like to talk about is it's not a new initiative, but it's something that's really important to us as we start to focus more and more, and that's social emotional learning, or better yet, behavior and social emotional learning. We've adopted a curriculum, early childhood all the way through 8th grade, called Second Step. Just some highlights of the Second Step curriculum that our students will be learning about is skills for learning, empathy, emotion management, problem solving, and if anybody was, as we dropped our prospective kindergartners over at LES, emotion management is important for all of us. That could be a really heart-tugging time, I know, for all involved. So those are all parts of Second Step, early childhood through 5th grade. And then at middle school, we start to look at things like mindsets and goals, recognizing bullying and harassment, managing relationships and social conflict. If you've ever had a middle school student, you understand that social conflict thing, not just at home, but we also deal with that at school as kids are learning and trying to figure out their part in life. You know, a big part of finding how you fit is having a connection to school also. And one of the things that our middle school and our high school both do is we have something called a connections list. And real quick on the connections list is it's a chance for our staff to go through the list of students that are all in the high school and they check mark, I have a connection with, I have a connection with. And then we flip that script and we say, hey, students, who do you have a connection with that's an adult somewhere in our buildings? And that's a very powerful thing because it opens up that communication line. So for me as a teacher that says, hey, I think I have a connection with Sharon. And then if Sharon says, I don't have a connection with him, it's a, hey, I thought we had a good connect. How can we help build that bridge to where, you know, connections at school is a really important part of our learning. So.
Okay, do you want to talk about the late start this year?
Real quick about our late start is it's something that our board passed 2 years ago, and then obviously we had some things happen in our world that didn't allow us to do that. What the late start will be is that we have a 1 hour delay every Thursday, and then on those Thursdays, students that attend LES, LAS, LMS, and LHS will all start. So if your kid starts at 8, they'll start at 9. Buses will run late. If you need to drop your kid off, if they're an LES or LIS student, we have Y-Care there for them, and so you can go ahead and drop them off. And there is a sign-up form that you can look at on our website.
And so any day or any weeks that are 3 days or less, am I saying that right? 3
Yes.
days less, we will not have late start on those weeks, and we'll push a reminder out on the website about that. So,
Excellent.
okay, now our new staff. Over that.
We'd like to welcome all of our new staff members, especially here at the board office. We have Miles Azza, who's our new Director of Teaching and Learning. He'll be doing all things from curriculum to helping with PD and helping with teacher training. All of that falls underneath Miles. We'd also like to welcome Ascendra Donald. Ascendra comes back to us. She was a school psych for us before, and she comes back now as our special education coordinator, especially focused on our early childhood center. We have a new daycare here, and she will help with that, and then she's kind of like the principal over all of our early childhood center. We'd also like to welcome Nick Flynn as our assistant principal at the middle school. Nick was a graduate of Lansing and has come back to teach and has been in different buildings, the elementary school and the high school, and now he's going to the middle school as our assistant principal. And with that, we'd also like to say congratulations to Brooks Jenkins. He was a longtime assistant principal at the middle school, and he's taken over for our recently retired Carrie Brungard. We also have approximately 20 new teachers to the district. We still have a couple positions to fill that have been hard to fill, but we're still looking for that. We'd like to welcome all of our new teachers And we would also like to welcome our numerous classified staff members to Lansing. Welcome to the Pride.
Great. So the last piece here is the Lion Roar Shoutouts, which is my favorite part. I will be doing that each time we do one of these Lion Lowdowns. So I'm going to explain that to
3 years ago, when I started as interim superintendent, I started this little note card. It's a handwritten note. When I'm out and about in the district and or the building, we just send out this Lion Roar to those that we catch doing great things for our kids and or our district. I'm gonna go and deliver these in just a bit, but we're gonna give them a shout out here in our community also. Our first one is Ashley Baker. She's a first grade teacher over at LES. And on the first day of school, it's amazing how we're teaching procedures and teaching behavior, and they're coming in from recess on the first day, and our kids are already in a line. They already know, and she's telling them this is the tile that you come in and stand on, so that organized chaos that we call elementary school goes smooth. And so that's why I'm giving her a shout out, a little Lion Roar. Jenny Nicholson's our instructional coach over at LES, and just her planning and her help with our PD at the elementary school on those first days of school back for our teachers. I'd like to give Jenny a shout out for letting her leadership voice be heard. Renee Laval is a paraprofessional at the intermediate school, and she was kind of our traffic director for all of those kids, those 4th and 5th graders that didn't exactly know where they were going that first day. And her bright shining face sure helped to, you saw the anxiety when they walked up, and then all of a sudden everything was okay. So great job, Renee. And lastly, Paige Brandt. Paige is a paraprofessional over at our Early Childhood Center. And as you're dropping off a 4-year-old for pre-K, it also can be kind of heart-tugging at times. And so Paige's bright shining face and saying, hey, everything's going to be fine. She knows the kids' names already, and just making sure they get there is why she got her Lion Roar. So
Fantastic. So our goal is to do a Lion Lowdown approximately once every month. So if you have any things you want to learn more about or you want to hear us talk about, please email us. You can email lionlowdown@usd469.net with some suggestions, and we'd love to talk about it. So thank you. We're excited to see you again in September.